to everybody at Beyond Words podcast. I am Manmeet and I have Oksana with me.
Hello.
So, this is our episode number 7, and we are going to talk about scammer alert. So, we are going to talk about anything and everything about scammers and scams in our lives. So, Oksana, would you like to introduce the topic?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, we should maybe define what is a scammer to start off.
Yeah.
So, of course, a scammer is someone who either wants your money or your data and doing this through deception. So, false pretenses, of course. So, Manmeet, considering this definition, do you think you ever were in contact with a scammer?
Yes, of course. And you know what I believe is that, I don't know, no amount of educated people will, sometimes say, this will never happen to me. A lot of people say that. And I used to say the same. No, I'm so cautious. And I know about these scams a lot. And this can never happen to me. But that is not the case. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
So what with me, what happened was that I am like a big shopper, like an online shopper, and I purchased a specific product which was like dirt cheap from like a very big online app, and the product got delivered to me, and then I received a call after like 2 days, and they were asking me about the feedback of the product, and they said, no, I'm from the seller side, I'm not from that company, but I'm from the seller who sent you the product, and we have a lucky draw, and you have just won that, and you have won a car. And I was extremely happy. Like, it never clicked to me that okay, it can be a scam or anything. So, and in the back of the mind, I was thinking, oh, what I'm going to do with that car, okay? So, that was all happening. And they asked me, okay, where are you living? And blah, blah, blah. And which color are you interested in? And I was like, again, it did not click me. Like, oh, so I have a color option as well. Okay, that's great. But you know what? There was one red flag that what I'd purchased was just like very cheap. Very, very cheap.
Yes.
How can I get a car which is worth of lakhs? So I was like, okay, but still I was like hanging around and talking to the person, and then they said, oh, you have to pay for the registry, So I was like, all right, that's okay.
So,
So at that point of time, it clicked me, when he started he started talking to me, and I said, no, I can't do some registry or something. He's like, no, but before that, you have to pay a certain fees as well, and like you can pay like little bit amount at this account. So then I completely changed. I got the message, and then I completely changed the whole situation. I said, oh, I'm a housewife. I don't know anything. I'm not educated. I don't know how to, operate digitally.
Okay, so that was your way of getting out of the conversation, so to speak. Why didn't you just hang up?
I wish I did. But scammers, they are so talented. I would like to say that they build this rapport and panic situation that you need to transfer it right now. Like,
of course.
Did it ever happen?
I think. Yes, of course. I'm going to come to this in a second, but I think for our audience, what would be really important, this is something that now caught my attention when you were talking about your situation, is that if you ever have to beforehand have to pay to receive something, this is like a typical sign of knowing, okay, this is absolutely illegal. So, because in order to get something you want, you need to first do something else, basically pay an amount of money, and it's always like, of course, like playing with people's emotions, of course. So that's what I always tap in. So either, if we talk about like what kind of scam versions there are, so for example, in your case, it would be like the excitement of getting something you don't have. They play with that, and so that's why they also like give you choice of color and so on. So it's like something you don't have and you want it, and that's how they play with this emotion. But then you have also where they play with fear, for example, those messages with bank account stuff. So for example, you have to pay this and that. And of course, in that moment, you realize that I have not purchased anything. But still, it's like you're a little afraid. Okay, have I done something wrong? I mean, this can come over a message or emails.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they also play like with the emotions of, for example, affection or love for somebody. I mean, this was something my situation with, when I was in interaction with a scammer. So that was like a typical identity fraud. So somebody claiming to be somebody else, and of course also here playing with the emotion of me liking that person, and that's why even interacting.
Yes. So I'll tell you one interesting story. So what happened with me was on Instagram, I used to get these weird friend requests because my display picture, there was only me, and I did not have a display picture then with my husband. And now I know that it protects you in a certain way. But when I only had my picture on Instagram as display, there were like these guys, like really handsome people, like approaching, sending friend requests. And most of them were like from Merchant Navy. I don't know why, but they were like, most of them, like 90% of them were Merchant Navy. And they would say that they are living in England and they've traveled so and so, and then they'll try to like become your friends. And that is what I've read online. I did not talk to anyone, but they will say, oh, I'm a single parent and this and that. First they'll show, oh my god, I've lived ooh la la life, and try to have like a romantic relationship maybe, and then they'll ask, okay, I'm having troubles, and can you help me a little and send me some money and blah blah blah. And that is something where a lot of girls are getting trapped, and vice versa. Like a lot of like girls also do that.
So the other emotion, just to have full circle, would be also compassion, right?
Yes,
that they're tapping in.
Yes, a big time. And I mean, it's so dangerous. And you know what they do is, they don't, they try to target people, different age groups in a different way. Like for us, it's through like Instagram or something. But they also have like, I don't know from where do they get this database, but they have database of like 50 and above people, where they'll call them and say like supposedly, oh, your bank, your the so-and-so documents are not up to date. And if you click on this link, it will get up to dated. And few senior citizens do that. And how much ever education or awareness there is, sometimes we don't see it. So I guess I understand, okay, it's a scam alert, or this website is a fraud website. So I guess it's very important to like either through these podcasts or the online thing, like keeping constantly reminding ourselves about the new scams and how do they do it, so that we can protect ourselves from it, I guess.
Yeah, and I think like the awareness already is a big plus to protect yourself. And of course, we have to consider that because of the technological advancements that we have nowadays, it is quite easy to make a website also look professional. So like, for example, with the scammer I was in contact with, he like even sent me a link to a delivery company that looked totally legit. It looked like it's actually a delivering company. And then, but what I like always like also tell my friends is, okay, if you have somebody, for example, sending you the passport or something of somebody else, claiming to be that person, just watch out for that. Because if you have a normal conversation with someone, why would you ever, like, without being asked, send your passport to that person? And once you get such a document, just check it, like, because it was so easy, like, to see when I got one, to see that it's totally fake. Of course, there's the data and so on, but there are like simple things like maybe the spelling is wrong or the country code is wrong or something. So to be a little bit on the watch, and especially if you're contacted by people you don't know, who like all of a sudden contact you. I mean, there's this problem, I think, that like many celebrities have, that their identities are used for such things. I mean,
yeah, I was going to come with that. It
and I
rarely
mean,
happens, like if I see country wise, it rarely happens in India because like the celebrities are like huge, and if somebody comes to me, I would obviously know that okay, it's a scam. Why will a big celebrity like text me on or DM me? But I guess that is very prevalent with few celebrities in Europe. I guess they pretend, somebody pretends to be their manager, or like
I mean,
like through a charity or something. Do you remember that you shared it with me, that they wanted to do some charity and they do not
yes, but this is exactly that they try to meet you on a human level, so to speak, like tapping in, okay, what would this person be willing to do? Like, so yes, the pretense was, okay, I'm gonna send you money and we can donate it here to a children's hospital, for example. I'm sure you like something like, oh, I'm sure you know some kind of institution in your city that we could donate it to, and so on. So that was the pretense. But of course, to receive that money, that was like what, 150,000. To receive that money, to then meet the person and donate it with the person together, you need to, of course, first get the package, and then to get the package, you need to pay what, 3,000, I think. Which, of course, you pay it and never get it back, and you never hear from that person again.
Yes.
And but I mean, I did also like what we should also be aware of is that those people don't contact you because they know you personally. Normally they text a bunch of people, many people at once with the same messages, and normally a bigger organization is behind it. So it's not like, of course, it's also possible for, so to speak, a private person to say, oh, okay, I'm gonna try to have some income by scamming people. But normally it's really like they're in an organization, they give them information how to deal with the targets and so on. So the person being scammed being the target, of course. And of course, they also, from them, they get also insights of, okay, with that kind of person of this age or this gender, you have to do like this, like that, so depending on everything. So this is also something to keep in mind that.
And when we're talking like about digital scams, I would like to share one more personal story. Oh God.
Of course.
This has happened.
If you're comfortable.
Yes, and I've lost money. So yeah, I'm not very proud of
you.
Yeah. So what happened, because what I know about secure websites, and I also teach like my grandparents, so there has to be a lock on the website, and then only certain transaction there has to be a lock. Don't even open if there's no lock on like the website. It has to be secure. But what happened with me was there are a lot of so during the lockdown, there was a lot of surge of like paint by numbers. That is a guided kind of a painting that you do. And you could also upload your own picture and get that printed. So I wanted to surprise my parents, of course. And I just took that picture and I wanted to make a painting out of it. So I just uploaded all the details to the website, and it was in dollars. And if I convert it into Indian rupees, it was quite a bit. So I paid it, and they gave me order ID and blah, 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 and email confirmation and everything very professionally. That order never got delivered. And when I checked online after like few weeks, why it's not getting delivered, and with the name of that website, website was fake, and it did not happen with me. It happened with so many people. And then it rang, a bell rang. Oh God, there was no lock on the website. This is still silly, but a lot of people have lost a lot of amount of money, and sometimes it can get very serious. Like few web apps, Chinese apps, they give you loans, easy loans, and they get information of all your contacts. And if you do not pay, they actually take your picture, use your phone number, hack it, change their picture, and send some nasty things about you to everyone you know. If you don't read it, and it can deeply impact people. So, so one advice from me would be like, first of all, you need to be patient. If something happens like this, do not panic. Most of the time, you are not going to get the money back. That's the brutal honesty. But go to your nearest police station, and we will also like put the details in the description box that what is the toll-free number people can contact. I will do that for India, and you can do that for Germany, I guess.
So if you actually got scammed, you definitely should report it to the police, and for that, of course, be aware that you need some documentation. So just going to the police and telling about it will not make any sense. You need some data. So definitely printings or emails or whatever you have exchanged with the scammer, you would need that. And also, I mean, I don't know how it exactly works in India, but in Germany, it's like if you have not really, if it was just an attempt to scam you, so to speak, you have not lost any money, there's not much the police can do. I mean, so they actually can only act and forward it to the legal authorities if you had some kind of loss,
Okay.
So this is also something to know. So it does definitely not make any sense to know, somebody tried to scam me and then report it, because there's nothing that's going to happen, because there's nothing to investigate about, because you have not lost anything.
Okay.
And of course, it would be nice for other people to not be scammed in the future, to get hold of that person or that group of people.
Yeah.
But there is not much possibility of prosecution then. Okay. And of course, I think what everyone, like each and everyone on the internet especially, can do is, personal awareness. So,
that's
and also caution.
Yeah.
So that's what we talked about before. Like if you get calls or messages about having to pay something that you've never heard of, just delete it. Don't click any links from people that you do not know. And even if you know them, because then there's the possibility that account was hacked.
Yeah.
Even if you get a link from a person but you cannot see what the details of that link are, first ask, what is that? And then if it's your friend, the friend's gonna explain, and if not, well, then
call them. That's what I do.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
There's sometimes, like from Instagram, like they already have in profile, and then you suddenly get a new profile friend request. I call them. It's better to get connected and be clear than to be sorry. And I guess also a new kind of scam which is coming up, especially for like small business owners. So what happens is they will place an order for something on your page, like on Instagram, and what do? Simply what we do is like we ask them to do something through a Google Pay, or in India we have Paytm. So what they do is they will take that amount, Photoshop the amount, and send an image saying we have already transferred the money, and we'll say no, we have not received anything. So they will again do that twice or thrice, and then they say, oh my god, I've paid you 3 times the amount of the product. Now you have to send it to me back. I'll do this to you. I'll report your account. And a lot of small owners don't, and they are scared for the image of their account and their business on social media. They end up paying the scammers. This has recently happened to a lot of
to not get very nasty reports, of course, or like comments about it. Oh god,
it's really sad. Like, where are we right now? We are like fooling people and taking money from them.
Yes, it's very sad, but on the other hand, I think what we should also consider that normally if something like this happens to us, if we're being scammed, what happens, of course, in us is that we get angry at those people, and without even considering that maybe they have some reasons to do it. I'm not excusing the fact that they do it, but I think as with everything in life, we should try to at least have some understanding of the other side, so to speak.
Yeah.
So when I had contact with the only scammer, so he explained to me that, like, in their country, I'm not gonna name the country to privacy, right? So that country, it's actually quite normal to use those techniques of scamming to even have some income, you know. So if in a country the economy is so weak that there is no working place for people, then of course such criminal organizations also pop up, and then they give opportunity to people to gain money through such a way, because they exactly know that they don't have any other means to have some income and actually support their families.
Okay.
So, and then of course there are also people who do it like actually as a business, and so for those I don't have any excuse except for saying, okay, it's the easier way to get money, all right, but of course on a moral perspective, it's not all right to gain your money through deceiving others.
No, but you know what? Like in India, there's this one particular village. I will again not name the village. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching in India would know the name of the village. It's very popular for like a lot of scammers. 80% of the scams happen through that village. And there's a Netflix documentary as well on it. Now what they've started doing is the local authorities and the police people, you know, they've started targeting students and schools present in the village and trying to make them more aware, not like just by giving education and blah 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 with the lectures and everything, but you know that they're trying really to play with the psychology of these kids, so that they don't end up doing what like other people like grown-ups in their village are doing. So I guess activities and you know like responsibly tackling with situations like this will definitely help, and you know make scams I don't know if there is going to be an end of it but surely it can reduce a little, and obviously by you know whosoever is watching this podcast, you must share this with your friends and family and make them more aware about all kind of scams that we have talked about, so that you know they don't become a target for any other scams.
Exactly. And we would love to, in the comment section, from you to get some information about whether you have ever been scammed. So if you're free to share your experiences, and also maybe if you know of other type of scams, you could share this too for the audience then to be aware of those type of scams too, and to watch out for such,
everybody can learn from, you know, they can read the stories and they can learn about like about different kind of scams and be saved, I guess.
And in this case, knowledge is key. So if you know about it, then you can be cautious about it, and that's why I also think it's great if people who know of scams to also inform their audiences about it. So whether it's a company or a private person.
So if you liked what you saw, just click the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed, and also do not forget to click the little bell icon so that you get notified the next time we upload a new video. And one more thing, I want to wish everybody a very happy Diwali to whosoever is celebrating.
From my side too. And if you want to check out some of our old videos, we would recommend the last two that we had. So the very last one, episode number 6, was about symbols. So check that out. And the last one was about the power words. So we would be happy if you watch those two. And of course, any other video we have uploaded, and give us your feedback. And since I'm wearing this necklace again, don't forget to heart our videos and share them with everyone you feel they could need it or want it.
Thank you so much for watching, and Namaste.
Namaste.